Sir, 11 a.m. Spring 6 p.m. slot is there or not there? Tomorrow 11 a.m. Spring 6 p.m. is there. Yes, is there. Yes. Now listen. Our today's topic is Lombok API. Lombok API. And this is our discussion. But before getting into that discussion, I think everyone knows what is Java Bean. Everyone knows what is Java Bean, guys. Yeah, if you have a Java Bean knowledge or one or other IDE knowledge, that is enough. Okay, boss. Now listen. Java Bean is a Java class. Java Bean is a Java class. Java Bean is a Java class that is developed by following some standards, right? That is developed by following some standards. Some standards. Yes. Okay. What are those standards here? Class must be public. Come on, guys. Class must be public. Next. Class must be public. Recommended to implement serializable. Recommended to implement serializable. Next. Bean properties. Bean properties, nothing but member variables. Should be private and non-static. Yes. Next. Every bean property should have one set of getter, setter methods. Okay, should have zero param constructor directly or indirectly. Constructor directly or indirectly. Directly or indirectly. Every bean property should have one set of public getter, setter methods. Understanding my point there? This is a typical Java bean. I think already people have studied what is Java bean for multiple times. Okay, if you want to know more about Java bean, please go and watch my videos. Workshops 2020. New folder, Lombok. Okay. Lombok API. Lombok API on, what is the today's date? August 22nd. Lombok API on August 22nd. Fine here. So these are the something here. These are the something we need. So Java bean is there, all this stuff. Okay. Now, how many types of Java beans are there here? 3 types of Java beans. We already discussed VO class. What is that? Value object class. What class here? Value object class. Okay, to hold inputs or outputs. It is there to hold inputs or output. DTO class. What is that? Data transfer object class. to carry data from one layer to another layer, or from one project to another project, That's good. Next, BO class. BO class, also called as entity class, also called as model class. Okay, to hold uh, persistable, persistent data. What data? Persistent data. So indirectly model data. Okay, persistible or persistent data. That's nice here. These are the Java beans. Now listen, a well-designed Java class. What is this? The well-designed Java class should have multiple common things, boss. A well-designed Java class. Then only we can call class as what? Well-designed Java class. Well-designed Java class should contain. I'll introduce what is Lombok API. Should contain. What is this? Overloaded constructors. Come on, guys. A well-designed Java class should have a overloaded constructors, one param, two param, zero param, so that I can create object by using anything, right? Next, toString method. Array, so that object data display becomes easy or not. Otherwise, object class toString method happens. And that always gives what? Class name at the rate hash code in hexadecimal notation. Remember that? So a well-designed Java class should contain toString method. Next, equals method. Guys, you are not responding. Are you active? Are you there in the chat box? What method here? Equals method. What is this? Equals method. Are you getting my point? Yes, to compare two objects data of same class. To compare one object data with another object of same class. Come on. If you don't override, superclass equals method will execute. And superclass equals method is very, very bad. Object class equals method is very bad. It never compares data. It will compare references only. Come on. So to overcome that problem, equals method should be there. Next, hash code method. Sometimes equals method internally uses hash code method also while comparing data, while comparing one object data with what? Another object. So that's why you have to think about overriding hash code method. Getters and setters. Okay, optional. Getters and what? Setters, optional. See, if we have these many things, then we can call that class is a perfectly designed class here. Sir, I don't place all these things. What happens? Nothing will happen, but one or other issue will come while working with the objects, boss. Especially while keeping objects in collections, while comparing, while sorting the data, while sorting the objects. When you keep objects in hash map and hashed kind of places, collections kind of places, you will get multiple problems if these methods are properly not there. Are you understanding my point? There are not there. So that's why a well-designed Java class should contain all these things, boss. A well-designed Java class should contain all this class. Understanding my point? If equals and hash code methods are not there, Okay, keeping objects of Java class, becomes very problematic, very problematic as the elements of collections, as the elements of collections. I think everyone studied this kind of statement in your what? Core Java collections here. Come on, guys. Equals and hash code methods are not there in Java class. Come on. Keeping objects of Java class, objects of that Java class becomes very problematic in as the elements of collections. Come on. Right. If toString method is not there, if toString method is not there, we cannot print object data in single shot. Object data in single shot. Come on. Object data in single shot. In single shot. Using SOP statement. What statement? SOP statement. Especially SOP statement, boss. Are you getting my point there? Single shot as string. Single shot as string. As a string using SOP statement. Like this, so many problems are there. Problems are there. Now listen. Without setters and getters. Without setters and getters. Come on. Without setters and getters. Okay. Okay. Setting data and reading data from properties to or from properties to oblique from properties is very complex. Very complex here without setter getter method. Are you understanding my statement there? Okay. So that's why that's why a perfectly designed Java class generally try to have all these things. Let us assume I have 100 classes. I want to design 100 classes as well-designed classes. So in all 100 classes, writing all these things on my own is very complex or not. If someone is there, I know this is a common code, I will generate, you don't worry. Then we will be happy or not. Okay, if someone is there, okay, just use me, I will generate this boilerplate code. Common boilerplate code, useful boilerplate code dynamically. I will take care, you don't worry about it. Then we will be very, very happy or not there. And that someone is nothing but Lombok API. That someone is nothing but what? Lombok API. That's the angle number one. Angle number two. First, I have a class with 3 properties. I manually generated 3 getter method, 3 setter method. Maybe using IDE support or manually I have written. I have added 4th property. Again, I have to write one more getter method, setter method. Again, I have to what? Again, I have to. Thank you, Sunil Kumar. Because I know that I never target on point. I always target on need. Need is very, very important, right? Okay. I always focus on what is need of that point. Thank you for liking that introduction. Yeah, now listen carefully. Listen carefully. So another 2 properties are added. Again, I have to modify code adding 2 getter method, 2 setter method. All of a sudden 2 properties are removed. Again, I have to remove getter and setter method. Or if someone is taking care of this one dynamically, I will be happy or not. If someone is taking care of dynamical, all these things dynamic, I'll be happy or not there. I will be more and more happy or not there. So that someone is nothing but what? Lombok API. That someone is seriously nothing but what? Lombok API. Are you understanding my point there? Yes. Before Lombok API. Okay, before Lombok API. Okay. So we should manually make Java classes as well-designed classes. Okay, well-designed classes by adding. Okay, na? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please focus. I'm happy. Please focus. We are going to see more vendors. Okay. Yes. Yes, yes. I will let you know. Please contact Naresh IT team or nareshit.com. Okay, you will get the batch updations. You will get the batch updations. I will take all these queries at the end of the session. Please be in the flow. Right. We should manually make Java classes as well-designed classes by adding the above said methods. Okay, above said methods. Okay, and we should manually increase or decrease. What here? Increase or decrease getter setter methods, getter and what? Setter methods. What methods? Getter and setter method based on number of properties we are adding. Number of properties means variables, boss. We are adding and removing. We are adding and removing. Understanding my point there? Yes, with Lombok API, okay, all the above things, all the above things will be taken care, internally, will be taken care and will be generated internally. Will be taken care and will be generated internally. You are least bother about that. So final conclusion is, okay, Lombok API, also called as Project Lombok. What called here? Project Lombok. Lombok API also called as what? Project Lombok. Project Lombok generates the following boilerplate code of Java class. What are those here? Constructors, next getters and setters, next toString equals hash code, hash code. This is useful boilerplate code that is required in every Java class in order to make that class as what? Perfect class or well-designed class. Understanding my statement? Right, boss. Okay, boss. Now listen. It's an open source API. It's an open source API. It's an open source API. Are you understanding my point there? Yes. It must be configured with it must be configured with IDEs. It must be configured with IDEs to make IDEs using Lombok API to generate the common boilerplate code. Boilerplate code. You have to configure, but if you don't configure, it won't. Yes, it supplies bunch of annotations. Understanding my point? Are some technical issue is there with the YouTube live streaming? Okay, it supplies bunch of annotations. What annotations? It supply bunch of annotations. Okay, bunch of annotations. Okay, for generating this common code. Yeah, what are those annotations here? We have a lot of annotations, boss. At the rate setter. Okay, I need not to tell what it will do. At the rate getter. I need not to tell what it will do. It will take care of generating what? Setter methods. It will take care of generating what? Getter method. Come on. Boilerplate code means the code that repeats in multiple parts of application, either with no changes or with minor changes, is called as what? Boilerplate code. The code that repeats in multiple parts of project, either with no changes or with what? Minor changes, is called boilerplate code. Okay, boss. Getter, setter, then we have got all args constructor. No arg constructor. All arg constructor, no arg constructor. Next, required arg constructor. What is that? Required args, no args. Required args constructor. That means more parameterized constructor. At the rate data, we have a lot of this one. Okay. Listen, boss. If you apply this setter and getter method on the top of class for all properties, getter and setter methods will be generated. If you apply on specific property, if you apply on what specific property, getter setter method will be generated for that particular specific property. Are you understanding my point there? So at the rate data is mix of multiple annotations here. It is mix of multiple annotations. I will list out multiple annotations. We have a lot of annotation. At the rate toString is there. At the rate equals and hash code is there. At the rate equals and what? Hash code is there. We have a lot of annotations, boss. Multiple annotations are there. Okay, fine. But first, most important thing is how to configure. Okay, how to configure. Steps to configure. Okay, steps to configure Lombok API with Eclipse or STS ID. With Eclipse or STS ID. Let me say one thing. In my system, my Eclipse bit disturbed. When I'm trying to add a Lombok support, Eclipse is failing. That's why today I'm going to show by using STS. But same procedure for the Eclipse also. You don't give up. In your system, first try in Eclipse. If Eclipse is giving problem, then only move to STS IDE. Then only move to STS IDE. Is that clear? In my system, some settings got disturbed. Okay, that's why I'm going to STS. Okay, but you don't do like that. You don't do like that. In IntelliJ also you can use, no problem at all. Okay, see boss, same steps, Eclipse, STS, same steps. And moreover, STS also on the top of Eclipse only. STS also on the top of what? Eclipse. So that's why procedure is same. Working with STS, nothing but working with Eclipse. But I am not using direct Eclipse because in my system, Eclipse got bought some disturbance in the settings. Especially when I add a Lombok support, Eclipse is disturbed. Okay, Eclipse is not running properly. So that's the reason I am going to demonstrate use the support of STS. Anyhow, you also need practice of STS and you take this one as opportunity and develop what? These concepts using STS. Okay. So step number 1, download. This is very important. Concentrate. Lombok API version.jar from mvnrepository.com. mvnrepository.com. Please download to your computer. Lombok-API-version.jar. Yes. From where? I think MVN repository is not at all new one to you people. Everyone knows it. mvnrepository.com. Okay, search for Lombok. Search for Lombok, guys. Yes. Lombok. Search for Lombok. Project Lombok is there. 1.18 is there. Okay, there is a word called jar. You literally download. You literally download. Yes. Say keep it. Show in folder. Show keep it wherever you want. You can keep it. That's not an issue at all. Wherever you want, you can keep it. You can, not an issue. I think it is not Lombok-API. It is just Lombok. There is no API. That's not an issue. Okay. Latest version only you take, not a problem. You happily take the support of latest version. Fine, boss. So mvnrepository.com. Number two, make sure that Eclipse or STS IDE is installed. Is installed. Now listen, I think everyone knows how to install Eclipse. Okay, similarly, STS is there here. STS download is there. It will come as a jar file. When you click on it, you will get a extracted folder. In the folder, you will be having one exe file. If you click on that exe file, STS IDE will be launched. It's a free. It's a free. Okay. So it's a free. Okay, I'll show how to do that. E-drive, softwares, configuration only headache, STS. This is the zip file you have to download, boss. From internet you can download it. Okay, 4.4.4 is the stable version only. When you double click on it, you will get the folder like this. It takes bit time. In that folder, you will be having one icon. You'll be having one exe file. So I'm sending that exe file to our desktop. Send it to desktop as shortcut. By clicking on it, I can launch STS IDE. I can happily launch STS IDE, boss. Okay. So I think here is the STS IDE. I'm launching it. So from where you should get a STS? Okay. Just to type in the Google STS download. STS download. STS download. STS download. Come on here. Yes, this is the one. Okay, see, Windows 64-bit, you just click on it, download starts. That's that much easy it is. Okay, this is the URL. This is the URL to download. To download STS. Just use the URL. Use the jar file. Use the jar file. Okay. Launch it. Run it. That means just double click. Just double click on it. Okay. Gives extracted folder. Gives extracted folder. Use use what is the name here? Copy this 4.exe to launch. To launch ID. Yeah, fine. It's a lightweight here, no problem at all. It's lightweight, no problem. Step number 3. Create project in Eclipse or STS IDE. Okay, and by adding, are you understanding my point there? Okay, sorry, STS is having same features of Eclipse. Eclipse with STS is same, don't worry. Create project in Eclipse or STS IDE by adding Lombok version jar to the build path. You have to add this one to the build path. So I'm launching this one. I think STS is already launched. No need of both. Okay. Second one I'm closing. First one I'm having. So I'm trying to take workshops, Lombok API. August is my workspace. Right. Okay, fine. Let me stop the downloading, boss. Let me stop the downloading of this. Cancel. Yes. Okay, let me make my system bit fast. I will go for it. Yeah, this is the basic look, boss. This basically, it looks like Eclipse. Don't be panic about it. Create project. Same Eclipse only, boss. It is also built on the top of Eclipse. Okay, boss. Lombok project 1. Lombok project 1. Next. If you want, you can take Gradle also. But by keeping everyone in mind, I'm just taking this one. Save finish. Lombok project 1. Regular one only. Okay, now let me go for build path. What is this? Build path. Configure build path. Libraries. Add external jars. Just now I downloaded one. Just now I downloaded lombok-version.jar. Apply, close. Sir, same procedure I'm giving for both. Binod, please listen. Same procedure. See, whatever I'm giving points for both. Okay, same procedure. Yes, boss. Step number 3. Step number 4. Step number 4. Launch Lombok application. Lombok application by clicking on Lombok-version.jar file and select Eclipse or Eclipse or STS IDE installation folder. Okay, installation folder. This is nothing but configuration. Installation folder. What folder here? Installation folder. Yeah, this is some procedure is there. Okay, now listen. Go to download section. Just now I got it. Double click it. You will get a big Birchi symbol. It will try to detect automatically, but I don't want to configure for Eclipse. If you want to configure for Eclipse, come on here. Okay, you have to specify location where Eclipse is there. If you want to configure for STS, you have to specify STS location. Are you understanding my point? Specify location, PC in my computer, G drive, softwares, STS, this is the place I selected. See, checkbox should be there, Mirchi symbol should be there. Come on, checkbox and Mirchi symbol. If you want to configure for Eclipse, you give the Eclipse location where eclipse.exe file is there. Okay, when I add a Lombok to Eclipse in my computer, Eclipse is disturbing. That's why I'm not touching Eclipse. But in your computer, it won't happen. In my system, settings are disturbed. That's why it's happening. In your computer, it definitely will happen, will not happen. So you try with Eclipse only. If any problem comes with Eclipse, then go for STS. But procedure is same in both places. Okay, now, right. Then you have to click on install and update this one. You have to click on what? Install and update, then quit installer. Then you have to say what? Quit installer. Is that clear, boss? Okay. So this is nothing but what? This is nothing but, yeah, you can have both in one computer, no problem. If you want to add to STS and Eclipse, you select both. You select both. Are you understanding my point there? Select installation folder, then click on install or update button. Install or update button. If you are using Maven Gradle also, you have to do this procedure. If you use Maven Gradle also, you have to follow this procedure. Then quit installer. Yes. So this is one more thing, boss. Next one. Step number 5. Step number 5. Restart. You must restart. Restart Eclipse or STS ID. Restart Eclipse or STS ID. Okay, now I'm restarting, boss. Here is restart option is there. You have to restart. After doing that one, after linking with configuring with IDE, you have to restart the IDE once. Yes. Okay, boss. Now, step number 6. No, it is quit installer only. Please, yeah. Step number 6. Okay, step number 6. Add one Java Bean class. Java Bean class to the project. Project of Eclipse or STS IDE. And by having Lombok API annotations. Lombok API annotations. And observe whether code is generated or not. Observe whether code is generated or not. Let's see, boss. I'm taking one package, okay, package com.nt dot some, it is called entity class, model class, anything you can say, model I'm taking. Some package, boss. Yeah, STS is given by Pivotal companies from Spring People itself. Yes. What is this class name? Any class name you can take. I'm taking class name as customer. I'm taking the class name as what? Customer. Oh, font is very smaller. Let me increase the font, boss. Yes, here we are having general appearance, colors and fonts, basic text font, edit, bold is there. I want to have Calibri, fine. Okay, okay, okay. Yes, I'm taking some variables. Yeah, you can take wrapper types or simple types, no problem. CNAME, private string, CADD, address, come on. Private string, float bill amount. Private float bill amount. Right now, how many are there? Only properties are there. Did you notice it? Yes. Now I'm writing at the rate setter. I'm also writing at the rate getter. I'm writing at the rate setter. I'm writing at the rate getter. Control plus shift plus O. Control plus shift plus O. Observe very carefully. Lombok API is imported. No doubt in that. Along with that, getter setter methods are generated dynamically. Did you notice it? Did you notice it? We cannot see in the source code, but you can see in the content of the class. You can definitely feel that one in the content of the class. Did you realize that? Come on, guys. Yeah, we cannot see in the source code, boss, because that's a dynamically generated. Nah, come on, guys. If it is generated here, again it is same as IDE generated one. Again, it is IDE generated one. If it is appearing in the source code .java file, again it is IDE generated one. So this is the process. Major problems you will get here only. Major problems you will get here only. Understanding? Okay, boss. Everyone notice. Now I will tell. I commented this property. I need not to modify. You just comment automatically reduced. I added one extra property. Okay, what is that? Long bill number. Long bill number. See, automatically that property getter are added. You need not to worry. Are you getting my point there or not? See, for example, I changed this type to double. For example, I changed this type to double. Observe very carefully. Automatically change it to double. Automatically change it to double. Set get double and getter method also you will get return type as the double. Did you realize that? So that means you have a lot of freedom. Okay, we have a lot of freedom. Did you realize that? Okay. So that's a common boilerplate code. To make class as what? Well-designed code. This is given. No, sir, I don't want on all properties. And then what should I do? Comment on this. Comment on this. You want only on these two properties, huh? Go there and write setter. At the rate setter, at the rate getter. But generally, no Java bean will be like this, but only for knowledge sake I am showing. @setter, @getter. Okay, now you just save it. Look at this. Getter setter methods came only on what? Getter setter methods came only on what? Two properties. It makes your regular operations very easy, boss. Very wonderful and very easy also. Are you able to see that? Okay. That is the power of what? Lombok API. That is the power of Lombok API. Are you able to feel that one or not? You increase, decrease, modify property type, automatic adjustment it will do. Sir, why should I believe it is generating? Okay, don't believe my practicals. Why should I believe you it is doing the things? 1 minute. Okay, I'm taking one more package to test whether all these things are happening or not. Okay, package com.nt.test. Yes, here I am taking what? Here I am taking class Lombok test. Here is main method. So many concepts are there. So many concepts are there. Now let's see. Customer C1 is equal to new customer of. Customer C1 is equal to new customer of. Same Eclipse, boss. They just given another name, same Eclipse. Okay, no one will write like this. Everyone will prefer writing on the top properties. Only for knowledge sake I have shown. Okay. Fine here. Okay. C1 is equal to new customer of C1 dot set CNO 101. C1. See, I'm able to use those methods. I'm able to use those methods means what's the meaning of that, boss? They are generated or not. They are not appearing in .java file, but I'm able to call them. That means they are generated or not. Where in the .class file they are generated dynamically. They are not there in .java, but they are going to come in what? Okay, .class file. Someone is asking me how it is possible, sir, without having in .java, how it is possible in .class. Array, default constructor we don't keep in, zero param constructor we don't keep in .java. But does it not coming in .class? I don't write super object as super class in .java. Don't you think it is not coming in .class through compiler? So why are you surprising? I am not writing length property. I am not writing .class property. Don't you think they are coming in .class file? Why are you feeling so magical? So Lombok API is making Java compiler to add these things dynamically. Are you getting my point there or not there? Lombok API is giving instruction to Java compiler to generate certain code dynamically in the .class file. First of all, agree the fact, though things are not there in .java, compiler can add some things to .class file. Who said we are not using? We are using every day in the industry. People uses it. Okay. Set C name Raja. Okay, I'm just setting these two things. Let me give the feeling they are there. C1 dot get CNO space. C1 dot get CName. Okay, let's run the application. Let's run the application. That means the methods are happily generated. That's why you're able to call them or not. That's why you're able to call them or not there. So what is the note? Lombok API. Lombok API annotations. Okay. Makes Java compiler. Makes Java compiler. Okay. Makes Java compiler to generate certain code dynamically Okay, certain code dynamically in the dot class file. In the dot class file. Okay, boss. It help compiler. It will give instruction to compiler to generate dot class file dynamically. Okay, note. Java compiler, okay, is having ability to add code dynamically to the dot class file, though though instructions are not there in .java file, not there in .java file. Okay, like default constructor generation, making tell me java.lang.object as default superclass and etc. and etc. Don't think that compiler is not having that provision. Compiler is definitely having that provision. Okay, compiler is definitely having that provision. That's why Lombok API annotations are giving instructions to what compiler to do that work dynamically. Everyone understood my point there or not there? If you look at the source code of these annotations, boss, can I see the source code of these annotations? Abba, fine. If it is a Spring Boot kind of thing, source code comes automatically. No, we are not getting source code, so no problem. Okay, we'll go to Google. We will go to Google. At the rate setter, I want to show one thing. At the rate setter annotation of Lombok API. What API? Lombok API docs. Lombok API docs. They are not giving source code of this class. Huh? I want to see source code of this class. Where can I see the source code of this class here? Can I see the source code, at least API documentation of this? API documentation. Yes, we got it. I need, now listen. At the rate setter or getter. Now listen carefully. Retention is source only. Did you notice it? Retention is source only. Other day I conducted fundamentals class of annotations. What do you mean by retention level source here? They will give instruction to Java compiler. They will not be recorded into dot class file. Are you understanding my point? They will not be recorded into dot class file. They don't provide any runtime functionality, but they give instruction to compiler to do something in dot class file. Are you getting my point? Retention level is source. What do you mean by retention level source? After giving instruction to Java compiler, as annotation, they will disappear, but their relevant code will be there in the dot class file. See the beauty. See the beauty. At the rate getter, at the rate setter, at the rate data. These are Lombok API annotation. They themselves will not reflect into dot class file. But because of their instruction, compiler is generating some code now, they will reflect in dot class file. I hope you understood my point here. It needs some maturity. It needs some maturity. They themselves will not record into dot class file. Because of their instruction, compiler generates that code. That code will be there in dot class file. Very selfless annotations these are. They don't want to be in dot class file. Their effect will be there in dot class file. Understanding my point? It's something like this. Dhoni won the World Cup, received from the management or team, whatever the presenters, and hand over to teammates. Hand over to teammates. Teammates got celebrated. Did you notice when Dhoni won the World Cup, what he has done? He received, hand over the team, and he left. He has not participated in the celebration. Did you observe that? And the Lombok AP annotations also similar. Lombok AP, they themselves will not be recorded, but because of their instruction, compile regenerating some code, that will be instructed. Are you understanding my point? Yes. Not. Lombok annotation. Lombok annotation, retention level is what here? Retention level is source. That means these annotations will not be recorded. Okay, will not be recorded to dot class files. But because of Lombok annotation instructions, because of Lombok annotation instructions, because of Lombok annotation instruction, okay, the code generated by what is this? The code generated by the Java C compiler, like getter setters, what here? Like setters, getters, okay, toString, and etc. will be recorded into dot class file. Will be recorded into dot class file. I think everyone felt it. Everyone felt it. Got it now? Okay, boss. Now first, what is the annotations I talked about? Getter, getter, comma, setter. Okay, boss. If these are applied at what level? Class level. Generates setters and getters. Setters and getters for all fields. Fields means properties. For all fields or properties. If these are applied at fields level, fields level, okay, generate setters and getter methods for specific fields. For what here? Specific fields are properties. Specific fields are properties. Okay, fine. So example number 1. I'll do example 1. Okay, fine. Right now I have kept on all the things. Copy this, paste it. This is example.java. Okay, what is that? Customer.java. This is what here? Customer.java. I'm talking about code in customer.class. Code in customer.class. I'm talking about code in customer.class. Code in customer.class. Actually, dot class code I should give. but I'm not going to give that. Listen, copy this dot class code. I'm not going to give. Right here, here, four setter methods. Four setter methods. I'm not writing that. Four getter methods. I don't want to waste my time by writing those things seriously. Observe very carefully. Observe very carefully, and moreover, one default constructor anyhow comes. You know that. Java compiler generates one default constructor when no constructors are there. You know that, na? Public constructor. Okay. Public constructor. This is default constructor. This is a default constructor. Observe in the generated dot class file, in the generated dot class file, annotations are reflecting a, annotations are reflecting. I have taken 5 up, fine. If 5, 5. If count is 5, 5, 5, 5. Okay, next. Count is 5, 5. Okay. Understood my point there? Right. Okay. Now let me give one more example here. What is one more example here? Say paste. Say paste. This time getter setters, I'm going to keep on only on two properties. How many properties here? Only on two properties. Copy this. Yes, only on two properties. Now tell me, this is customer.java. This is customer.java. Next, generated code in customer.class. What is the code in customer.class, my dear? Yes, these will not be there. What is this? Two setter methods. What methods? Two setter methods. For what? CNAME, comma, CADD. Nice. Next, two getter methods. For CNAME, comma, CADD. And one constructor. What is this? One constructor. Public customer, zero param constructor. Yes, like this it is going to come. Everyone enjoyed this point? So this is about getter and setter methods, boss. When they are applied at field level annotations are there. Okay, next. Shall we go to next one now? Okay, we'll go for toString annotation. We have a, what is this? At the rate toString. At the rate toString. This is the annotation we are having. Listen. So at the rate toString is there. At the rate toString. Lombok test here. So right now I don't have toString. I called setter methods manually. Come on, guys. Okay. Here, what is this? Set CADD Hyderabad. Set, what is next? Set bill amount. Set bill amount, some 780 something. Okay, don't want to take 5 properties. Let's end with what? This one. Yeah. Now I'm saying sysout C1. I'm saying sysout C1. Now concentrate. What has come? What has come? What has come? Object data has comma or some class name at the rate hash code in hexadecimal notation comes. Class name at the rate in hexadecimal notation came. Why, sir? Object class toString method is called. Which class toString method is called? Object class. How can you say that? In our class toString is not there. What is the default superclass for this class? Object class. Ultimately, object class toString will be called. Object class toString method anyhow contains what code? Printing hash code in hexadecimal notation. What is the proper thing? A fully qualified class name at the rate. What is that? Hash code in the form of hexadecimal notation. Why should I believe, sir? Click on F3. F3, println is calling value of method. You observe this value of method. Value of method is internally calling. If object is null, it will print null. If object is not null, come on, it is calling toString method, object class toString method. If you look at the source code F3, if you look at the source code, what is there? Get class dot get name, current class name at the rate hash code is called. Whatever hash code has come, it is converting into hexadecimal notation. You know that what is hexadecimal notation? Come on. What is hexadecimal notation? Base 16. Base 16 means what? 0 to 9 digits will be there. A to F alphabets will be there. Array, you know na? Decimal notation base 10. Octal notation base 8. 0 to 8. Decimal notation base 10. 0 to 9. Actually, octal notation 0 to 7 only. Okay, hexadecimal notation base 16. Understanding? Binary notation only base 2. 0 and 1. I hope you know all these fundamentals. You know all these fundamentals. Okay, now I want to get this. I want to get this what? ToString method dynamically. I want to get this ToString method dynamically. Then what? At the rate ToString. At the rate ToString. Listen carefully. If you look at the at the rate ToString method, at the rate ToString, where is ToString? ToString, setter, ToString. If you look at the rate ToString, it is at type level only. You cannot apply at field level. Come on. Type level means on the top of class interface in a annotation only you can write. You cannot apply at the top, at what? Field level. Because toString is not there to display single property value. toString is always there to display entire object data. So if you look at what? Setter getter, we have two options. Go for setter, getter, setter. Getter, you observe, it is applicable at what level? Field level, type level. Type means on the top of class. So like this, you have to know which annotation is applicable at what level. See the documentation or source code. Okay, based on that, we can understand which annotation is applicable at what level. That is called target area of applicability. What is that? Target area of applicability. Now you observe, parallelly you observe, here toString method has comma, not comma. ToString method has come. Super. Lombok API test. Now you run the application. Now you run the application. Happily it is displaying object data or not. Right now it is calling our toString method, object class toString method, our toString method. Where it is there? In the dot class file it is there. Not in .java file. Not in .java file. Did you realize it? Did you realize it? Okay. Makes the Java compiler to generate or override toString method having logic to display object data, having logic to display object data, having logic, and it is applicable only on the top of class. It is applicable only on what? Top of class. Yes, boss. Only on the top of class. Yes, here what is this? Customer.java. 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 What is this? Customer.java here. Yes. Code.class file. Come on. Code.class file. Code.class file. Here what will come here? ToString method will come. I know what this ToString method will do. We'll try to display object data. Same, whatever ToString we see in Eclipse IDE generation, same ToString. For example, here ToString is there. Here I ask it to generate one ToString method. Same ToString method code will come inside that. Yes, same ToString method code will be there, boss. Same, this kind of ToString method code only will be there here. Yes. This kind of ToString method code only will be there. Code.class file. Customer.class file. Yes, boss. Can I ask one question? What is the use of ToString method? What's the use of ToString method? Tell me here. It is useful to display object data in the form of single string. In the form of what? Single string, because it will convert into single string. Are you understanding my point there? Single string format. If we don't override this method in our class, come on. If you don't override this method in our class, then object class, what class here? Java.lang.object class. Object class ToString method executes, and this method gives, what is this? This method gives fully qualified class name, at the rate, okay, hexadecimal notation of hash code. Hexadecimal notation of hash code. This is what it is going to give. I hope you understood that point. Okay. So you want to customize ToString method. If you want to customize ToString method, not possible. See, boss, you have to, there is no, see, can we customize the method generated by Lombok API? Not possible. Okay, one more question. Can we customize the logics? generated by Lombok API. Actually, it's the wrong expectations. We are going for Lombok API. It's a boilerplate code. I don't want to write again and again. Again, you want to customize. There is no meaning. Na? Already you have a freedom to customize here, but you are feeling boring, heavy, and duplicate boilerplate code. That's why you are going for Lombok API. Come on here. So there is no meaning of expectation. So to overcome that only you are going for Lombok API. And after going to Lombok API, again going for what? This. And moreover, these are generated by compiler. Then how we can customize? Lombok API annotations are giving instructions to what? This one. Can we customize the logics generated by Lombok API? Answer, no. Answer, not possible. Someone asked me, sir, by default, toString method is giving what? Entire object data display in a string format. No, sir, I want to get one-two properties data. And one-two properties data only I want to print using toString method. Sorry, not possible. Then don't use Lombok API. Go for it. Sir, I will keep Lombok API is giving toString method. I also keep explicitly toString method. Then what happens? I also explicitly keep toString method. Then what happens? Source toString. Yes. I am also explicitly placing toString method. Observe. Here warning has come. Not generating toString. A method with that name already exists. Then Lombok API toString method says that, sorry boss, I already noticed one method is there with the same code. So I am not going to generate. I am not going to generate. Suppose for example, I didn't write this logic. I have written hello. Okay, hello. Otherwise, CNO is equal to CNO. Now tell me here. Now tell me. Lombok API toString is coming here. No. It shows that Lombok API toString is there. But it is our toString. Check it out. It is our, okay. You cannot feel it because it will show toString for both. Fine. Now you print it, then you will understand. You print it. Only 101 has come. Do you think it's overriding or overloading? No, it's not like that. If you observe, if Lombok API observes toString method explicitly in .java file, it will stop giving instruction to compiler to generate what toString method dynamically. See, that is actually reflecting here. Is actually reflecting here. Not generating toString, a method with that name already exists. Very intelligent one. Now I commented this. Now I commented this. Save it. Now that warning gone. Now that warning gone. And you observe the execution. You observe the execution. Everyone got the clarity? Actually, we expect it should give an error, duplicate method error. But it is not giving duplicate method error. Come on, guys. It is not giving duplicate method error. Did you notice it? It is ignoring because same code is already there. What happens if we place toString method explicitly in our class along with Lombok API, at the rate toString method, along with Lombok API at the rate toString, at the rate toString. Come on, can you tell me the answer, guys? Can you get the answer? Okay, at the rate toString of Lombok API, Lombok API will not give will not give instruction to Java compiler, Java compiler, Java C to generate toString method, to generate toString method, because same method is already available. Same method is already available. Same method is already available. Where? In .java file. What file here? .java file. Okay. Warning will come. Warning will come for, what is this? @2string annotation. For warning will come for @2string annotation. I think same thing happens for getter setter methods also. Are you understanding my point there? Same thing will happen for getter setter methods also. Check it out. I am also keeping what? Public void set CNO into CNO. Okay. This dot CNO is equal to CNO. This dot CNO is equal to CNO. This dot CNO is equal to CNO. It shows CNO because we mentioned it, but let's see which one will execute. It's not giving a warning. Why? Because it is for all properties, not for one property. But to give the feeling, sys out 1, 2, 3, I will take. Yes. Let's see which setter method it is executing. Which setter method it is executing. Lombok test. It is executing 112. That means what? Okay, that means what? Same thing. That means what? For that particular setter method, Lombok API is not generating. For remaining properties, Lombok API generating setter method. For CNO, setter method is not generated in .class file. Our one executed means what? Lombok API is not generating CNO, setter method for set. Sir, why warning has not come? Will not come. Why it will come? Why? Because this setter is written only for CNO property, for other properties also. Other properties. That's why it is not showing any warning for it. Understanding point? Okay. So note, same is applicable. Same is applicable for, okay, for @getter and @setter annotations. Same is applicable for @getter and @setter annotations. Fine, yeah. Yes, if you take every property getter setter, then also same story, boss. Then also same story. That time warning may come, you just experiment once. Yes, boss. I think we are clear on this. Then clear on this. I hope you are clear on this toString annotation. Then clear on this toString annotation. Just a minute. Print stream class. Okay, F3. I just want to display this one also. F3. Print stream class value of F3. Yes, I want to display this this one. Object class toString method F3. Yes, I want to just put in one thing for your reference. Yeah, so many discussions are there. I'm just, lot of your core Java will be revised here. Please, you'll feel that, okay, lot of core Java how to, okay, na? Right. Yes, boss. Shall we get into the discussion? No, it is not calling toString method. Yeah, internally. Yes, listen. Whenever you pass reference variable, in SOP, toString method will be called automatically. If we call SOP with SOP with any reference variable, okay, on that toString method will be called automatically. ToString method will be called automatically. Yes, boss. What's the next annotation? Next annotation we are having is what? Hash code. Okay, equals and hash code. Equals and hash code. At the rate equals and hash code annotation. At the rate equals and hash code annotation. Fine, boss. Generates, tell me, equals method and hash code method. Hash code method in the dot class file dynamically by giving instruction to Java compiler. What is that? Java compiler, Java C. Tell me here, applicable. Tell me, one class will have one equals method, a lot of equals method, one equals method, one hash code method, a lot of application. Applicable at class level. Class level means type. Class level type. It cannot be applied on field levels, boss. You know that. Fine. Yeah. First of all, you see this. There are some magical things that we have to focus. There are some magical things that we have to focus. I'm writing at the rate equals and hash code. There is no only equal, there is no equal hash code. So why they have given together? Array equals internally uses hash code also. Equals internally uses hash code. Are you understanding my point? Equals internally uses hash code. Actually, I am writing one more annotation. All arg constructor. All arg. I will introduce all arg constructor later. I'll introduce all arg constructor later. Don't worry about that. Okay. So all arg constructor. Fine. So now you observe. Customer C1 is equal to new customer of 101 Raja. What is the bill address Hyderabad? What is the bill amount? 67.88F. Why, sir? We have a 4-param constructor. I used all arg constructor now, boss. Since I'm using all arg constructor, only 3-param constructor came out. Why so? Why so? Total 4 params are there now, boss. Only 4 params are there. 4 param came out. Achha, maybe I have not seen. 4 param has come. Okay, let it be. Yes, this is empty now. 4 param constructor has come. I'll introduce constructors later. For the timing, you observe this one. C2, here I have taken Rajesh. C2 you have taken Rajesh. Now listen, for the timing I am not keeping equals and hash code. Equals and hash code has not come. Did you notice it? Yes. Equals and hash code has not come. Oh, double value. Double, I think we can pass float also, not an issue. Sys out C1 dot hash code space C2 dot hash code. C1 dot hash code, C2 dot hash code. I printed hash codes. Next one, sys out C1 equals C2. C1 equals C2. Tell me, boss. And I also am comparing references. I am also comparing reference equal, double equal. Sys out C1 double equal to C2. C1 double equal to C2. Core Java, boss. Core Java, completely core Java. See the outputs here. 2 different hash codes are there. 733,642. Why? Right now our hash code is called as object class hash code method is called. Our hash code is called object class hash code method is called object class. Object class hash code method always gives me unique hash code or not. Come on, guys. Object class hash code method always gives unique hash code or not. Are you understanding my point there? Yes. Okay. Now what I will do is, I will go for overriding of this one. Overriding of equals and hash code. Hash code has come. This equals also came. Lombok API is generating this one. Now tell me. Now tell me here. You are going to get based on the data of the object, based on the data of the object, based on the data of the object. Listen carefully. Based on the data of the object, it is going to generate the hash code or not. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Okay, right now both are having what? Two different data. Here state is different, here state is different. That's why two different hash codes have come. Suppose if two objects are having same data, there is a possibility of getting same hash code or not. When we override the hash code. When we don't override the hash code, superclass hash code will execute. Superclass, nothing but object class. They don't know about state of our object. That's why it always gives two different hash code. But if our hash code is executed, there's a chance of getting same hash code or not. Let's see now. Raja, Lombok test.java. See this 719. Come on, guys. Why, sir? Why, sir? Our hash code is overridden and our hash code is having what? Logic to generate the hash code based on the data of the object, state of the object. And both objects are having same state, na? Come on, guys. Both objects are having same state, na? So that's the reason. Okay, for the timing, you don't worry about the equals part. Don't worry about the equals part. That's why we got the same hash code. That's why we got the same hash code. Okay, popular interview question. Can two objects can have same hash code? Yes. When? If you override the hash code method, okay, then there is a possibility of having what? Same hash code for two objects if both objects are same. So that's both objects are what? Same. But if you go for object class to hash code method, that always generates what? Unique hash code. That always generates what? Unique hash code. Sir, hash code is unique number, na sir? Yes, hash code is unique number, but you are overriding hash code method and your hash code method is generating hash code number based on the state of the object. So since the state is same, hash code is also coming same. Hash code also coming same. Actually, you know one thing, okay, every object can have multiple hash codes also. Definitely. Two hash codes also can be there. How, sir? So we only said within the heap object is identified by hash code. Hash code is unique for every object. Na? We only studied that statement. Come on. But when I override hash code method, if I keep the same data for two objects, same hash code is coming. So that is changing entire theory or not. Actually, what happens, at that particular time, okay, there will be two hash code. One is what? Given by object class. One is given by your class. Sir, after overriding hash code method, how to print unique hash code ID that is generated by JVM? Now you observe system dot, there is a method called system dot unique. What is the method here? Identity generator. identity hash code of C1, identity hash code of C2, identity hash code of C1, identity hash code of C2. Now tell me here, original hash codes have come. 462733. Now indirectly, right now object is having how many hash codes here? 2 hash codes. One is given by our hash code method. One is given by object class hash code method. Is there any other way to get the uh, original hash code of the object, sir? So you can get like this also. By using super off also you can get. Okay, anyhow, that's not a way. Don't worry about that. Right now we got like this: system dot identity hash code of C1, identity hash code of C2. So indirectly I'm proving that every object is having 2 hash codes or not. Okay, if you override hash code method, your hash code, come on. C1, T2 are 2 different objects. C1, T2 are 2 different objects, but our hash code method is generating hash code based on the state of the object. Based on the state of the object. That's the reason. That's the reason. That's the reason we are going for. Yes. Yes, if you want, you can call like this also. Let me try. You can get the original hash codes. C1 dot super dot hash code. C1 dot, I think super is not a, I think super is a private property. I think we cannot call here. You have to go to code. You have to go to code and you have to call it. Are you getting my point there or not there? Yes, boss. So equals and hash code. What is a hash code? What is a hash code? Hash code is a unique identity number given by JVM for every object. Okay, given by JVM for every object, and we can get it unique identity number given by JVM for every object, and we can get it by calling hash code method. We can get it by calling hash code method. We can get it by calling what method here? Hash code method. Yeah. Can two objects have same hash code? Can two objects have same hash code? Can two objects have hash code? Come on here. Can two objects have same hash code? Right, boss? Answer. If hash code method of java.lang.object class is called, then not possible. Then not possible because it generate hash code based on hashing algorithm What algorithm? Hashing algorithm. Yeah, recollect your core Java hashing algorithm. Based on what? Hashing algorithm as unique number. As unique number. Are you understanding my point there? As a unique number. Please guys, cloning is also creating a new object indirectly. But if you override hash code method in our class, generally it generates the hash code, hash code, hash code based on the state of the object. If two objects are having same state, if two objects are having same state, then okay, then there is a then then we get same hash code, then we get same hash code for both objects, then we get same hash code for both objects. Then we get same hash code for both objects. Then we get same hash code for both objects. Prints the same hash code. Prints what? Same hash code. Prints what? Same hash code. Tell me here. Okay. Can one object have two hash codes? Can one object have two hash codes? Can one object have two hash codes? Yes. If you override hash code method, what method? If you override hash code method, then based on the state of the object, one hash code will be generated. But internally, JVM maintains another hash code, based on hashing algorithm. Based on what algorithm, boss? Hashing algorithm. Everyone got the clarity there? Based on which algorithm, boss? Hashing algorithm. Based on hashing algorithm. Okay. So bold boss, tell me here, gives our hash codes. And these are what? JVM hash codes. JVM hash codes. Come on, guys. I'm presenting new concepts. You're supposed to know them in core Java, but I'm trying to present in a, taking a chance to revise them through what? Lombok API. Got it now? Right. Yes, boss. In my project, I am required to generate hash code based on only ID value. Can Lombok API use it for it? Sorry, you cannot use for it. Amrpreet Singh, you cannot customize the logics of the methods that are generated by Lombok API. Sorry, you cannot customize. If you customize, Lombok API will not generate the same code, as usually same story. Right? Guys, I hope you benefited with this. Benefited with this, but what we have seen is only 30% of Lombok API. Still so many core Java concepts, so many wonderful things are there. Okay. So many wonderful things are there. Can two objects have same cache code? Binod, where are you sleeping, man? Where are you sleeping? I hate this kind of guys, you know. I hate this kind of guys. Can two objects can have same hash code? That's the question now this guy is asking. Where are you sleeping, man? Where are you sleeping, man, for this much time? Sriram Kumar, tomorrow I'm going to use @non-null. @non-null. Vinod Kumar, I already discussed. That's a straight question. Can two objects have same hash code? Please look at this. If you override hash code method and two objects are having same data, yes, possible. I have written one object or two objects. Check it out. Worst fellow. First object, second object, C1, C2. Binod Rai, I'm feeling sad for you. Here two objects, C1 dot hash code, C2 dot hash code. I think this guy is celebrating Ganesh festival. Neha Sharma, Neha, yes, the getter setter methods. Getter setter methods that are generated can be used for injections also. Prashant, okay, fine. Every project Lombok API operates separately. No, not required. Once you configure with ID, it will reflect for all projects. But in every project, Lombok API jar should be added separately. I'll upload the component. Can you use Lombok API jar in any project? Yes, any project you can use. Spring Boot, Hibernate, anywhere you can use it. How can we see list of Lombok API annotation, getter setter? You can go through API documentation, Deva Patel. I thought @data only thing. No. Animesh Joshi @data is there. But before that, so many magics are there. Can you share annotations video URL, please? Today, my first class with you. I understood everything. Sriram Kumar, please search for annotation fundamentals in the Naresh IT YouTube channel. You will get it. Every project Lamba pay separately. Yes, for no need not of configuring. You have to add jar file. You have to configure with ID only for one time. Today class is interesting. More clarity came. Naina, tomorrow it will be more wonderful session. Don't miss it. Tomorrow, I think 9 o'clock, I cannot complete Lombok API. Can I make it 8:30? Can I make it 8:30 a.m.? Tomorrow session is 8:30 a.m. Tomorrow time is 8:30. Only tomorrow workshop time is 8:30 because things not gone according to my plan. So I need more time. Still so many wonderful things are there related to constructor, related to @data. So much thing here. Tomorrow it is 8:30 a.m. Is that clear? Fine. Practice once. First try with Eclipse. If your Eclipse is giving problems, then try with STS. No need of going for STS unnecessarily. Array, my chat box is filled up, bro. Manadi Kumar, seriously enjoyed. I never knew concepts. What your class? With your class, my core Java also getting improved. Super, great. Tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock class is not there or not there. If you want to join your batch, which batch we can join? In which sequence we should learn first Spring or Advanced Java? First core Java, then Advanced Java, then Spring. Or you can do all the three courses parallelly. But you have to complete necessary prerequisite before coming to next one. Morning, evening batches will be there. Morning, evening batches will be there, Sriram Kumar. Just visit Naresh IT website, nareshit.com, you will get to know. Okay, thank you. Today JSP class is there. At 11 o'clock, JSP is there. Your teaching style is best. You also covered Java concept in less time. Thank you. What is prerequisite for web services? Servlet. Thanks, sir. I love you. Will provide lot of people. I cannot do anything in life. Please conduct web service batch. Put a request in office. Start with 8 a.m. only, sir. Again, not completed. Tomorrow again, it will take one more session now. Okay, I'll try to wind up. 8 or 8:30 is okay for us. If needed, I will delay. If needed, I will delay 11 o'clock batch. Don't worry. Whom to contact for every batch? nareshit.com is the website. nareshit.com is the website. You just visit that website. nareshit.com. Today evening classes are there. Today evening classes are there. nareshit.com. T is missed here. Tomorrow Lamba class is at 8:30 a.m. Thank you. Adding jars to Eclipse, installing both are same na, sir. Then what is need of install step number 3 and step number 4? No. If you add the jar, that is not enough. You have to configure jar Lamba KPI with Eclipse IDE or STS IDE. You have to configure. Rajesh, you cannot do JSP with JDBC knowledge. You should have a servlet knowledge. Microservices and RESTful web services are not required for freshers. Not required for freshers. Why are you telling this Lombok in core Java, sir? This is not my core Java class. This is not my core Java class, Mr. Anil. I don't know in which dunya you are. It is advanced. It's a common topic for all advanced students. It is a common topic for all advanced students. Mr. Anil, I think you came in a wrong place. 2+ years experience, microservices is not required. Above 3 years, microservices is required. Above 3 years, microservices is required. Essential for Hibernate and Spring students. For every student is required. Yes, JSP at 11 o'clock only. Maybe I'll start by 11:05. Milinda, Lamba KPI is there to generate common code dynamically. Great, yaar. This Milinda always asks very interesting question. After listening entire Ramayana, is asking what is Lamba KPI, sir. I appreciate these people like anything. Fine. Okay. Angular is required for fresher, not required. Not required. Sriram Kumar, timings I cannot change because I already engaged with other batches. JSP 30-35 sessions are required. 2 years RESTful web service added advantage. Will this be there in YouTube later? Right now we are facing technical problems to upload to YouTube. Okay, once those problems are solved, we will. Someone given complaint on our YouTube channel. That's why YouTube people have suspended for 15 days. Okay, once that problem is solved, we'll upload. Today evening classes are there. Thank you, boss. We will discuss tomorrow. I don't know what is the complaint. Admin people are saying like that. Okay. Thank you. Have a nice time. Some people will be there, not jealous people all be there. If I take web services, I need 2 months, 60 sessions required. Zoom ID for every class, evening class. Evening class Zoom IDs are already given. Please collect from admin. Same Zoom ID, regular IDs only. Narasimha, regular IDs only. Thank you. Have a nice time.